What happens when a ministry built on faith, trust, and integrity becomes a breeding ground for manipulation, control, and betrayal? This is the shocking story of Daystar Television Network, a global Christian ministry now embroiled in a scandal that has left employees devastated and viewers questioning everything they thought they knew. At the center of this storm are Joni Lamb, co-founder of Daystar, and Anna Kendall, a trusted counselor with deep ties to the ministry. What began as a workplace dispute has unraveled into a web of ethical breaches, emotional abuse, and alleged misuse of power. But how deep does this scandal go? And what does it reveal about the true nature of leadership within Daystar? Strap in, because what you're about to hear will leave you questioning the very foundations of trust and accountability in religious institutions. The scandal first came to light through a lawsuit filed by Karen, a longtime Daystar employee who had dedicated 8 years of her life to the ministry. Karen's story is not just one of wrongful termination but of emotional abuse, personal intrusion, and a blatant disregard for her rights as an individual. According to the lawsuit, Karen was dismissed not for incompetence or misconduct but for her personal romantic relationship with a younger male employee, a relationship that did not violate any company policies. Despite this, Joni Lamb allegedly took issue with the relationship and demanded that Karen end it. When Karen refused, she was subjected to a 2-hour verbal tirade that left her humiliated and demoralized. This incident raises troubling questions about the extent of control Joni Lamb wielded over her employees. Why was she so invested in Karen's personal life? And why did she feel entitled to dictate who Karen could or could not date? One of the most chilling aspects of this case is the involvement of Anna Kendall, a counselor with deep ties to Joni and Marcus Lamb. According to the lawsuit, Joni repeatedly pressured Karen to seek counseling from Anna and her husband, Fred Kendall. On the surface, this might seem like an attempt to help Karen navigate her personal struggles. However, Karen was well aware of the real purpose behind these sessions. Other employees who had gone to the Kendalls for counseling reported that their private information was mysteriously relayed back to Joni Lamb. If true, this represents a gross violation of trust and confidentiality. Counseling is meant to be a safe space where individuals can express their concerns without fear of judgment or exposure. By allegedly using counseling sessions as a tool for surveillance, Joni and Anna Kendall may have irreparably damaged the trust employees had in the system. The allegations against Joni Lamb and Anna Kendall paint a picture of a workplace culture rooted in control, intimidation, and fear. Employees were reportedly subjected to personal scrutiny, forced counseling, and even public humiliation if they did not comply with Joni's demands. For Karen, the impact of this experience was profound. Imagine dedicating years of your life to a company, only to be degraded and discarded because you refused to let someone else control your personal decisions. This type of emotional abuse can have long-term psychological consequences, including anxiety, depression, and post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. Moreover, the alleged misuse of counseling as a tool for control is particularly insidious. By turning what should have been a refuge into a mechanism for surveillance, Joni and Anna Kendall may have created an environment where employees felt exposed, vulnerable, and powerless. One of the most telling aspects of this case is the alleged double standard in Joni Lamb's approach to relationships. While she reportedly took issue with Karen dating a man 15 years younger than her, her own daughter is said to have married a man with the exact same age difference. This hypocrisy only adds to the growing list of concerns about how power is wielded within Daystar. If Karen was pressured, humiliated, and ultimately fired over a personal relationship, how many other employees were subjected to similar scrutiny? And how many were forced into counseling sessions with the Kendalls, only to have their private information weaponized against them? The revelations about Joni Lamb and Anna Kendall are deeply troubling, not just for Daystar but for religious institutions as a whole. Religious organizations are supposed to operate with a higher moral standard, serving as examples of integrity, compassion, and respect. Instead, the allegations against Daystar suggest a culture of manipulation, secrecy, and authoritarian control. If employees were subjected to this kind of treatment, what else has been hidden behind the scenes? And what does this say about the values and principles the ministry claims to uphold? The Daystar scandal is a stark reminder of the importance of accountability and transparency in religious institutions. Employees should never have to work in fear, and counseling should never be used as a tool for manipulation. It is imperative that those who have been affected by this toxic environment speak out. The only way to ensure accountability and change is to bring these issues to light. The public deserves transparency, and those responsible must be held accountable. The actions described in this lawsuit are not just workplace misconduct. They represent a fundamental betrayal of trust and Christian values. As we continue to uncover the full extent of this scandal, one thing remains clear: the truth must come out, and justice must be served. If you want to stay informed about critical stories like this, make sure to subscribe to this channel. By doing so, you're supporting the pursuit of truth. And as you take this step, may God bless you mightily.